this part too, but it took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to. There are pictures in the video. You'll have to stay tuned to watch the process to see what we made along the way. There's more pictures at the end of the video, and as always, thanks for joining us. See it in the video. Like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know if we're just losing my mind over here. However, here's the rest of the chaotic day. Alright, y'all, we're back in the embroidery cabin. Just going to start with a little maintenance of getting ready. I apologize for the lighting, but it's just that time of the day. It's in the afternoon, so some things don't want to come out completely correct. Well, as I was going over, you want to make sure that you're doing your maintenance, and I apologize. Like I told you, it's going to be chaotic, so you know, it is what it is. So just making sure that we, well, baby, there we go. Making sure that we get our maintenance done here. And get ready. Now today we have, like I said before in the first video, we have a lot of embroidery to do. We have about 20 Etsy orders and got to get those completely finished. So we're going to be working a little bit. Don't expect for you guys to have to hang around, watch every little detail. So you're going to get bits and pieces and spurts, and so stay along for the ride. Please comment and like and subscribe, because that will let me know who's watching, or if I'm just making a video diary. As I said before, sometimes we feel that way. If you're new to the channel, don't feel bad. I am too. So anyway, I'm Sandy with Needle Nut Embroidery and Moss Baby Farms. Just a little bit of quick backstory. I have multiple sclerosis, and so I ended up having to, well, I actually ended up losing my job during COVID. Then I was a safety supervisor and an office manager. So anyway, fast forward to now, I'm back doing what I used to do years ago. I had the 6,000 square foot building, 15 employees, sales reps, you name it, we had it, you name it, we done it. In other words, everything from ink pens on your table clear up to your LED signs. But life has taken a different turn, and so some days I do great, and some days I don't. Now this morning was a little bit of a struggle, but you know what? Here it is. Everybody has one, and complaining's not going to do any good, because half the time nobody wants to listen anyway, right? So one of the things that we're going to be working on, like I said, is a lot of embroidery. We have about 25 jobs that have to be done. And in case you're not for sure, or you did not catch what I was saying about the machines, in case you have a question, this one is my Highland machine. I like to use it a lot for hats. This one is my Baby Lock BMP8, I believe. Yes, it's a little bit older machine, but hey, it still does whatever I stick in the machine to do, okay? And then this is my Melco Amaya XTS. And I love it when I'm doing applique, especially because, you know, it has that feature where it brings the hoop out. The Highland, I believe, does, but I haven't figured out that button. All of my machines I did purchase used. And because I've been doing embroidery for over 25 years, I've learned to work on them. So I've caught some good deals, had to work on them, and get us to where we're at. So hang tight. I'm going to get a few jobs together and let you watch the process of getting those set up. Okay, y'all. So we're getting prepared. And I wear an apron so I can keep all my goodies in here. But then also I have my headset on. And usually... yeah, I tell them my age. I like Elvis, you know, B.B. King, Sinatra. I even like some of the new ones, but when I'm working, I really like to sometimes mellow out. Now, other times I do like some Beastie Boys and Metallica and that kind of thing, but help to drown out the machine noise. So what we're doing is we're working on, let me see if yeah, I do have one. This is one that I finished, and I still have to trim the fabric off of it. But we're going to be doing a lot of these. This is called my School Pride shirt. So we've got to pick out some fabrics, which we have for this one. But this one here, this is another order, and it is for a Tarleton State University. And so I had to look up the colors for that because they didn't tell me. Usually the customer will tell me, hey, it's, blue and white or blue and orange or purple and white or whatever. But Tarleton is purple and white. So we're going to go in here and pick out some fabrics. And let's head to the fabric room. So that's what we're going to do. Don't be alarmed when you see all of the fabric on the wall. And I'm not going to do a lot of editing on this video. I'm just going to pretty much piece it together. Almost did something there that I didn't want to. But this is just a portion of the fabrics that I have. I also have fabrics on this side. And if you're curious, this is my cabin. This is my embroidery cabin. I took a 14 by 40 portable building and created my own happy space. So, and I didn't do that all myself. Mr. Moss helped do that too. So, anyway, let's pick out some purple fabric. So, the initials are TSU. So, we're going to have 6 total fabrics because we're doing a School Pride shirt, which is layers. So each layer has a bottom layer and then a top. So we're just going to mix and match and see how we like the layout, okay? So I have several different fabrics here. So we're just going to put these back up here. Because I have sometimes 2 layers of fabric in here. So, it is what it is. Y'all will learn that's one of my favorite sayings. So, we're just going to pick out some purples. I tried to color coordinate these, but sometimes that just doesn't work. Let's see here. Gingham is always a happy one. This one seems to be a very nice print. So there's purple and white. And let's see, that one has too much pink in it. This one will be a good one. These colors seem to go in the family together. So now let's pick out a couple of solids. Let's see here. Let's see how I like this one. I'm not sure. I can get by with that and this one. So this is going to be a bottom. And sometimes when I'm doing this, I just lay them out on my shelf here. Try to do that. Not sure I like that one. Yeah, this one just seems to be throwing me off. And sometimes you'll get it the first time, sometimes you won't. Don't stress about it too much. The main thing is when you're creating, you're the creator. So I know that sounds sort of oxymoronish or crazy if you want to say so, but you are. You're the one that follow. Sometimes work, things work and sometimes they don't. In lots of things. So we have some more fabric over here. I think I do like this one. I think I got this one at Joann's. Let's see if it I think it's a little bit dark, so we're going to go with something else. Let's see. I do like this one. Sort of. So we're going to go with these two. Camera's not wanting to work with me too much here, but you know. Oh, let's see here. Oh, well, how real would it be if I took it out of there that the technology just isn't working well, huh? Okay, so we have some fabrics. Let's go get those situated. All right, so we're back over here to pick out fabrics. Like I said, we already have the fabrics for the one order, so I'm just going to set those to the side. This is the order that we just finished. So everything was green and white. So that is what we're going to have. Even the lettering is green and white in this one. We'll just move it over to the side. This is our sweatshirt that we're going to be doing when the Etsy order comes in. It comes in with all the information on it. Or I should say it should. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes I have to message a customer, but you know. And then here, of course, my heat and bond light. But I'm going to lay these out. They picked a purple sweatshirt where normally it's a gray. A lot of times it's a gray. And their colors are purple and white. So I'm going to lay these out here and see how I like the layout. And we'll double check. So I think this dark one needs to go in the middle. Like this. With the purple and white in the background. I think this one needs to be a background. And I think this one needs to be the background. So, let's change this. Let's put this one here, like that, and put that one there. So that way it's a little more balanced. If you like it, let me know. Comment. Let me know if you like it or not, okay? So now that we have these all figured out, we're going to do the, let's see, what are we putting on the bottom? Guess what? There's no mascot on this one, so it's just going to be straight up letters. So we're going to go ahead and get this hooped. Set my colors over to the side, grab a hoop here. Now, I know a lot of places are using the magnetic hoops. But today, and right now, I don't have the magnetic hoops, Mighty Hoops. I would love it. If you're watching Mighty Hoops, I would love to test this. I mean, like I said, I have been doing this for a long time. And as a small business and doing this again, I just really haven't, I don't know, I just really haven't seen where it would be in my best benefit to do that. But at the same time, I do think it would be very good to do it. So, but if you need someone to test, I'm your gal. Okay? Back to what we were doing. Let's get you strapped in here and hoop this bad boy. So, for those of you watching who do not have the wonderful Mighty Hoops that are all magnetic and the little board, what I do is I get my stabilizer ready, measure it out with my hoop, and I will lint roll this last. Got a lot of lint on here, but we're going to lint roll it last, just for those of you who are curious, okay? I lay that flat. Now, I've been doing this a very long time, and I always center everything up with the center of the neckline. The reason being is because these manufacturers sometimes are not getting these exactly straight. But this one seems to be pretty close. But if you see that, look, there's a 1/4 inch difference there. So if you go by exactly the middle of the shirt, you're going to come off a 1/4 inch from the neckline. The neckline can't lie because that's going to line up with your neck no matter where or how wide they make the shirt. That's just my thought. If you disagree or you have another input on that, like I said, just put it in the comments. And we're going to do this on the Melco machine. So I'm going to use my, I believe it's a 12 by 17 hoop. Just slide that sucker in there. And I try not to overthink this. And since it's going to be fairly close to the top, we're going to go ahead and bring this hoop all the way up to the edge of the neckline. And it does have this little thing on here, so we know that's going to be the center. We're going to center that up with our neckline. And then we're going to make sure that we're straight here and here. Put our hoop in here. And make sure you're good and straight. Tighten it down. And because I do have problems with my hands anymore, probably having the Malia hoops would be good, but we don't have those. So right now we're just going to tighten this in. And next, cut our fabric. So I need that for a second. So I'm going to put this over here. And I go about making little, well, in woodworking they'd be called jigs, but pattern. Template. Template is the word I'm looking for. See, oh, here it is right here. I already had it out. But I cut out what size fabric I'm going to do, especially if it's a design that I'm using multiple times. I do have a pair of regular fabric scissors. Do not use your same scissors that you're using for your stabilizer for your fabrics. It just won't cut as well. So, word to the wise, if you've not been a seamstress, you will find out fast that your fabric scissors cut much nicer when you do not cut your stabilizer or your heat and bond light with those. So always just have a good pair of scissors that are designated just for your fabric. And I noticed that this particular fabric was not on one of my boards. This has been a mission of mine to try to get all my fabrics reorganized. So I went ahead and ordered the comic book boards is what I ordered. Maybe back here a little bit. And put my fabric on that. And then I just went to the Dollar Tree and got those little cloth bins. And that's what I've been using for right now. Now, hopefully, that will change. But as of right now, that's what we're using. Works pretty good. And then we're just going to cut this next one. And this is not big enough for what I need, so I'm just going to leave it attached. Let's see here. Oh, this end is. Let's just use it. And I know, you can just cut this really wherever you want to, but I'm a fabric quarter, so try to get the most out of every yard of fabric that I have. And so that's going to be letter number 1. Also, the thing I found out too is, I'm going to say this, even though my cabin looks like a crazy wreck right now, is to help yourself stay a little more organized and put things back in place is just to do it as you're working along. Now, my cabin's crazy. I had several people come by yesterday. That big order was dropped off. Had to rush to get to the UPS in time. And then we also had the truck go down, or not really go down, but have to go to the shop. So it's been crazy. But I told you when you started watching that you were going to get real content. If I edit everything out, then you're not getting real and true content. Sometimes we just have to know that other people have issues as well. But in my way of thinking is it could be worse. And you always have to be thankful for what you have right now. What can I find in the moment to be very, very thankful for? Keeps your perspective on life a little bit better. And that's going to be a bottom one, so I don't want to cut that small one. Now, if you want to, you can just go ahead and fast forward through this, but for those who do not know how to do this or have been curious about how to do it, this is how I do it. Now, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Don't get stuck in the mode that you have to do it like so-and-so or so-and-so doesn't do it that way and I'm not sure I can do it that way. When you create embroidery and you're doing it, you're doing it. Yes, there are some rules as far as like how certain fabrics do or certain stabilizers, but for the most part, try it. Just try it. Just try it and see what happens. How do you think that all these new designs come along? You think they just stayed in their own little lane and didn't try anything different? No. It's not at all what happened. Everybody has to experiment a little bit. And like I said, I'm using a template that I've made. Probably been using this for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years probably, this little template. But I find that if I do that, then I'm not just having a lot of just wonky cuts in my fabric. Stays a little neater when I try to go put it up. And for the most part, I really try to keep everything organized. Just the last few days, it's not been so great at doing that. But, oh well. I always keep my little bag and I just put them in here because I have several designs that I do all the time. And so, here we go. This would be letter number 1. Okay. This could be letter number 2. And then this is going to be letter number 3. So we're done with fabric. And when I make a school pride shirt or anything especially that is applique or open edge applique, then I like to make sure that I have heat and bond light on that. You do not want the heat and bond heavy. Your needles will get hung up and will not make a very good stitch. But you do want heat and bond light. And you can see how I do this. I do not make exacts. I just try to get it as close as I can. You can always trim it later. The main thing is just so when you go to cut it, trim it later, the heat and bond light makes it a little easier to trim. And it does also adhere to what you're working on a little bit better too. So, we'll set these here. I'm going to go put the fabric up, and then you can watch me try to work. Okay? All right, we're back to this. Now, that shirt that I told you that I had already done, I trimmed it up. And like I said, made the lettering and the fabric all white and green because that was the school colors. And so we have their shipping label. And we're just going to give this a quick iron. And I like a nice steam iron. And have that all ready to go. And then that just makes that look so much better. So we'll go ahead and hold this up. I'm going to set this over to the side. And we will package that up. Now, when I left off on the film, we were getting colors ready for the purple and white School Pride shirt. And you can probably see over here on the side here, I've already went ahead and hooped and got, I think we have 5 more shirts set up. So we can get to cranking here in a minute. And some people like to use their heat press for the Heat Bond Light. You can do that if you have one, by all means. I just like to use my hand iron and not heat the cabin up without needing to. And so I just lay out my fabrics of what I'm going to be doing. And I don't worry about whether or not they go ahead and go all the way to the edge or not. Like I said, the main thing is for it to start cutting, be able to cut a little easier and lay down a little bit. So I have these in sequence now. So this is going to be a bottom layer, top layer for first, bottom layer, top layer, bottom layer, top layer for that purple shirt. So we have another set here. And like I said, I have them grouped according to how they're going to go on the shirt. You can do it however you want. There's no right or wrong way to do this. This is just part of my process, and this is how I go about doing it. So if you want to do it that way, great. If you don't, okay. This is just a day and what goes on here at Moss Baby Farms and Embroidery. If you do embroidery, drop in the comments of what you're working on and how long you've been doing embroidery and maybe what kind of machine you've got. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're a flower farmer and you just happen to be watching this because you're curious as to how this process is done, you know, leave that comment in there as well. Tell me how long you've been doing it, what to expect as I'm a new flower farmer. This year was our first full season. It was a little rough, so due to my health issues more than anything, we did have an extremely hot summer, but you know. So we're just going to continue on with this. All right, now that we've got prepped, we're going to go ahead and start embroidering. So this is, you just get to work with me. I'll put a time lapse on it and get that situated for you. Now, if you have any questions or not sure what the process is, by all means, just go ahead and, like I said before, comment. If you want to, if you've been watching the channel or starting to watch the channel, and you'd like to have just a channel for the embroidery and just a channel for the Moss Babies, let me know. If it's too confusing to have it under one channel, I don't mind to do that. I just tried to keep it very simple at this moment because I wasn't sure exactly who the audience was going to be. If the audience is you and you have a preference, then just let me know. You know, that's what we do. So we're just going to go ahead and get started here. Like I said before, I do have my headset on. That's usually how I work. That way the machines don't get all jumbled in the background. So here we go. We're just going to get started. Now, you just seen me iron the fabrics for the shirts that are loaded on the machine. And so we're going to go ahead and get started for those. This one is a large monogram School Pride. This one, I'm not even going to edit it out, y'all. It's just the way things go, so you can see behind the scenes. The Baby Lock has a 4-inch double layer School Pride, and the purple one, you remember me talking about it, it's on the machine as well. Let's cross our fingers and hope we don't have any issues, okay? If you've made it this far, then you made it through the whole video. Oh wow, I've got a lot of learning to do on editing, but I just want to say thanks for joining me, and hopefully maybe you learned something, maybe you enjoyed it. If you do, I have said it all through the video, just comment. You gotta let me know what you'd like to see. Anyway, thanks again. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're not 100% sure what we do on the embroidery side, be sure and go to our Facebook page, Needle Nut Embroidery, or find us on the website, Needle Nut Embroidery, www.needlenutemb.com. If you want to know more about the flower farm, then always look us up on the Facebook page as well. It's Moss Babies Farm, and we're sure glad to be... I'm just gonna leave it in here. I told you I was getting a real video. This is at the end of the editing after a huge order done as well. So just see you on the next one. The next one will be flowers and some planting ideas as we get ready to go into the fall season. See you in the next one. Enjoy, y'all. Have a wonderful day.